What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, where the fire is always warm and the seats are plenty. So gather round. Let's talk about this cosmic cowboy. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is I know it's been probably going on 2 weeks now, but I uh, I think I finally figured out how I want to handle the release of this podcast. Because one thing I was trying to figure out is where I want to put that in my release schedule every week, and I do a new comic book day video release on Monday. I have another video release I want to do on Fridays. I'm live on Thursdays. So I figure Wednesday would be a great day to release the podcast episode. I also picked that day because I listened to another podcast called FMOFM, Florida Men on Florida Man, and they release every Wednesday. And it's become almost a ritual for me to listen to their episode on my way to my LCS to pick up my new books. On top of figuring out a proper release schedule, I also had my kids return to school virtually. So we tried to figure all that stuff out. And so that kind of ate up the first 2 days of last week. And then there was a potential hurricane issue. So we evacuated and went out to my parents for a few days. There were a lot of people there because we have a lot of people that live in the potential path of these hurricanes. And so everybody had evacuated out to my parents. So there was a lot of people, a lot of family, a lot of things going on. I didn't get to record out there, but I thought, you know what? They'll understand. I'm here to bring you the second episode of Cosmic Campfire. And I'm really excited to talk about the things that, started with the first episode. The question I left everybody with is, what is a space cowboy? What do you think of whenever you think about a space cowboy? And so for me, I really wanted to break that down into, what is a cowboy? What defines a cowboy? Because I don't want just like the Western aesthetic. It comes with the attitude, and a cowboy is a certain type of personality. And so this is definitely, to me, an outlaw, a rebel, somebody who lives just beyond the limits of the law. And so I'm trying to figure out how I want to work that personality in, how I want to tell this story. The other thing I've been trying to think about is the setting. So, where does this take place? Are we thinking planet side? Are we thinking colonies, space stations? One thing that I came up with earlier is there's an episode of The Orville where they find a giant spaceship that there are people living on, except they think that this is a planet that they're living on. They don't understand that they live in a giant spaceship. And so I was trying to think of like an interesting twist on that, I guess, trying to figure out how I could utilize that concept in a unique way for a Western. I think it would be really interesting to, I guess compare and contrast the simple times of the West against modern ideas and modern thinking about the foundations of religion and God and existence. To me that kind of ties into the cosmos as well and the cosmic concept here because whenever I think of a cosmic story, what I'm thinking about is something that's really exploring the meaning of life and our mere existence. Like, why do we exist? Where did we come from? How did we get here? These are the kind of questions that I'm thinking about on a cosmic scale. And so to me, that would be really interesting to kind of contrast against the simpleness, I guess, the simplicity of the Western world and the Wild West itself. Like things were simpler. There was less technology. There was a lot less going on in everybody's everyday lives. A lot less rat race. So I think taking a simple time and stripping it down could make for a very interesting way to explore those kinds of cosmic questions. That's what I'm looking for now. I guess the questions I want to leave out there today for everybody for when we return next Wednesday. So, homework for the week. We need to figure out exactly what the message is here. So, question of the week is, how can we explore simplicity and compare that to the cosmic scale of these types of questions? What types of answers are we looking to pull out of this story? And what would be an interesting way to portray the vast scale of the cosmos against the vast nature of the Wild West? So that's my three questions. Reach out to me. I'm on social media under New Guy, Nuexguy, and I'll keep the fire warm until next time. See you around.